Hello, welcome back to another edition of 10 Cool CodePen demos. This time is for the month of April 2026, and we have the demos are going to be some CSS, some components, JavaScript game, and some more that I think are pretty cool, and let's see them one by one. So the first one is this accordion by Jay Tompkins, or Jay. And he has some configuration here, which is nice, but let's see it in action. So when you click on it, all the text shows up line by line or word by word, and it has some colors. So it has different animations. He achieved them with JavaScript and GreenSock, and again, you can configure them so the colors are different. Let's see, you see now it's orange. And one thing that I found interesting is that at the beginning I thought it was like many other accordions that, if you notice, is 480 pixels wide, that achieve the animation only at a certain width. But looking into the code, I was able to comment out this part. Let's go here. And you can see that the accordion actually adjusts to the size of the container, in this case the body. And the text actually animates independently of the size, which is pretty cool because, as I said, many of the accordions that I've seen in the past, they only worked for certain sizes, but this one adapts correctly, and that's really nice. For the second demo, I have Gemma Crowd. I hope I pronounced her name correctly and all the names correctly. I apologize if I didn't. And it's some CSS art, and in particular some nostalgic VHS tapes cases. And I like it because it's all HTML and CSS. There's no SVG. And it captures perfectly the style and design of the time. Also, again, the nostalgic part played a big part for me selecting it. But I think that they are designed really well and crafted really nicely in the code. So check them out. It's a really nice demo. Also, there's another demo from her, but we will see it in a little bit. The next one is Natalia, and it's a marquee, which is interesting because normally I wouldn't pick up a marquee for a demo, but I found this one different. Like if you notice, it has two different marquees within one. So we have the text moving to the left and the colors moving to the right. But if you notice also, the colors change sizes. Like the purple section that is moving, or pink section, depends on what you're focusing, changes between Origins and Mandarin. And this is achieved by using pseudo elements and applying a transform, a scale transform, but also changing the transform origin, in between the animation, which is an interesting effect. Again, I'm not a big fan of marquees, but this one caught my attention, and I think it's really well done. Let's go to the next demo, and it's a ripple effect created by Nick. And one thing I like about it is that it's just CSS and HTML. It doesn't have SVG, and this may seem like, okay, so what's so impressive? Most of the effects with text that I've seen, they use SVG filters, not CSS filters. But this one in particular is only CSS animations, CSS filters, but all CSS. It doesn't have to rely on JavaScript or on SVG, and that makes it pretty cool considering that the animation looks really neat. I've seen this effect before, like people like Temania Fib or Anna Tudor have this trick where they apply a blur and then they do a contrast so the edges look smoother. And this is exactly what Nick did, applying it also to an animation with a radial gradient. And that's, the effect is really interesting for something that is just literally the word ripple inside a div. Like you've seen libraries, and the libraries will probably break it in different spans and they will apply animation, SVG, this is all CSS, and that's what makes it really cool. Another demo is by Chris Paulson. He created the Artemis 2, taking advantage of the launch. And I'm going to use the mouse to scroll instead of the wheel because the wheel looks clunky. And he created this drawing of the Artemis, and it's basically HTML, although there's a little bit of SVG here, but don't worry. It's basically CSS art, and it's combined with the scroll-driven animation. So as you scroll down the page, the Artemis rocket takes off, separates, and goes into space. And I think it's a really cool animation by Chris that he's often in this list because he does amazing things. You should follow him on CodePen if you don't already. The next demo is this puppet by Josechu, and you see it's a puppet that you can move. It's in 3D, and we can rotate it so you can see the 3D. It's CSS actually. It's not a thing. It's CSS, and you can generate this. Josechu has been doing. Oh, that acts up a little. But remove it from the list. No, just kidding. I think it's amazing what you can do. Like people like him or Amit create amazing 3D things with CSS, and I look forward to see what he creates, because to be honest, he has been doing some 3D lately, and it looks like he's preparing some big animation with a character or something, because everything seems to be going that way. This may be just like a study, which would be super cool, to be honest, if it's just that. But yeah, let's see the next demo. Is also by Gemma Crowd. Again, a little bit of nostalgia. It's a Game Boy console, and it's all done with CSS and HTML, as you can see here. I like it because, again, it has a touch of way back then. Also, I created in the past different Game Boys, so for me, every time that I see a Game Boy, somebody doing a Game Boy in CSS, I'm like, yes. The tradition stays alive. But no, it's a nice drawing, and if you want to see how some CSS art can be created using things like properties, positioning, transforms, and shadows, this is a good example to how you can start with CSS art. The next demo is a JS game, and it's a really tough one. I'm going to play while I talk, or I will try to. So it's a fun game, ice hockey game, and I have been unable to even score a single goal against the machine. It's a really difficult one, and I will be happy if I almost did it. But, oh my goodness. But yeah, so I'm terrible at this game, as you can tell. But it's really entertaining, a bit difficult, to be honest, but it's fun. You should try it. I really enjoyed it. Why is it going dark? Oh, I scored a goal! I don't believe it. Oh my goodness, no. I lost. It's the first time I score a goal in all the times I have played, and I can tell you I have played a few because it's a fun game. Try it. It uses Canvas and JavaScript to generate the board and the tiles and the disk. And it's, again, it's an entertaining game. Just a really difficult one if you want to play. Let's leave it at there. Next demo, before I lose by 7-0 again. Oh, another one. Is a Bauhaus Countdown. So one thing I like about this is basically CSS art with numbers in Bauhaus style, created by, oh my goodness, Steen van Minnebruggen. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I said I was not going to say it again, but sorry. So I like the style. I really like the style of these drawings. It's beautiful, it's well crafted, it's smooth, the lines are great, the numbers are amazing. What's not to like, to be honest? And it's all done in HTML and CSS. It has a little bit of JavaScript that is actually to do the countdown, which, I get it, because changing the shapes with CSS can be a little bit of a pain in the neck. But to be honest, it doesn't really need it. This is an HTML and CSS demo, and you should check it, enjoy it, and I'm going to copy this style or these numbers for some project later for sure. So next demo, and I think it's the last one, it's the loop night and day toggle. So this is just a toggle, night and day. Like you can see, I can click and it changes between night and day. But I want you to notice something different. Like normally toggles have two states, like on and off, in this case, night and day. But this one, normally when you click, it goes, apart from that the animation is really smooth and nice. Notice how when you click, it doesn't just go to one or the other. It continues where it was before. It's keeping the state. So it's not only doing like the animation and the typical thing that you would do with a toggle, but it's taking, Margarita is really taking into account the details, and that's great. Like it's a great demo, and I wish I could do something like this, and it's a really great source of inspiration, to be honest. And with this toggle, we finished the list of 10 demos from April 2026. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next month. Bye.